Welcome to today's story. Today, we will learn English through the inspiring life of Swami Vivekananda, a man who taught the world to believe in itself. His famous words, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached," continue to inspire millions of people even today. As you listen to this story, you will improve your English while discovering the remarkable journey of one of India's greatest spiritual leaders. Let's begin. The birth of a legend. Imagine a young boy born in Calcutta, now Kolkata, India, who would one day inspire millions across the globe with his wisdom, courage, and compassion. That boy was Swami Vivekananda. He was not just a monk. He was a thinker, a leader, and a visionary who taught people how to live with purpose, strength, and kindness. Swami Vivekananda was born as Narendra Nath Datta on 12 January 1863 in Calcutta, India. He grew up in a family that valued education, discipline, and compassion. His father, Vishwanath Datta, was a successful lawyer, while his mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, was a deeply spiritual woman. From an early age, Narendra displayed extraordinary intelligence, curiosity, and fearlessness. He was energetic, playful, and adventurous, yet he possessed a sharp mind and a kind heart. Let me share one of the most inspiring stories from his childhood. As a young boy, Narendra and his friends often played near a large tree in their neighborhood. One day, an elder warned them, saying, "There is a ghost living in that tree. Stay away from it." All the children became frightened except Narendra. He calmly replied, "If there is a ghost, let me see it myself." Without hesitation, he climbed the tree and sat there confidently. After some time, he came down and told everyone, "There is no ghost, it was only your fear." This incident reflected a quality that would remain with him throughout his life, the courage to question fear and seek the truth. Swami Vivekananda never accepted anything blindly. He believed in thinking independently and finding answers through experience. Narendra's mother was his first teacher. She taught him honesty, compassion, courage, and self-discipline. Her teachings played a major role in shaping his character. Narendra's mind was like a sponge. He could read a book once and remember most of what he had read. His thirst for knowledge was extraordinary. He often asked deep and challenging questions such as, "Have you seen God? What is the purpose of life? Why are some people poor while others are rich?" Most teachers struggled to answer these questions. However, Narendra's desire to find the truth only became stronger. After his father's death, the family faced serious financial difficulties. There were days when they struggled to afford food. During these difficult times, Narendra often sacrificed his own comfort for his family. It is said that he sometimes told his family that he had already eaten, even when he was hungry, so that his mother and siblings could eat without worry. This showed his deep love and selflessness. His search for truth eventually led him to Sri Ramakrishna, a humble spiritual teacher living at Dakshinswar. When Narendra met him for the first time, he asked the question that had troubled him for years. "Have you seen God?" Sri Ramakrishna immediately replied, "Yes, I have seen God as clearly as I see you." This answer deeply impressed Narendra. For the first time, he had met someone who spoke about spirituality with complete confidence and personal experience. That meeting changed his life forever. Sri Ramakrishna became his mentor, guide, and spiritual teacher. He taught Narendra that God exists in every living being, and that serving humanity is one of the highest forms of worship. Under Sri Ramakrishna's guidance, Narendra began a journey of spiritual transformation. However, before becoming Swami Vivekananda, he continued to grow through learning, observation, and self-discipline. Even as a young man, Narendra had an incredible passion for reading. He spent countless hours studying philosophy, history, science, literature, and spirituality. According to many accounts, he possessed an extraordinary memory. Once, after borrowing a book from a library, he returned it the very next day. The librarian was surprised and asked, "Did you really read the entire book?" Narendra confidently replied, "You may ask me anything from it." The librarian questioned him on several topics from the book, and Narendra answered every question correctly. His love for learning was not driven by examinations or success. He believed that knowledge was the key to understanding life and helping society. He often encouraged others by saying, "Fill your mind with high thoughts, and you will always walk with your head held high." Narendra was also a skeptical thinker. He never accepted ideas without evidence or personal understanding. One day he asked Sri Ramakrishna, "How can I believe in God if I have not seen him?" Sri Ramakrishna smiled and replied, "Close your eyes, meditate sincerely, and you will discover the truth within yourself." At first, Narendra remained doubtful. However, as he spent more time with his teacher, he began experiencing profound spiritual insights. Gradually, he realized that spirituality was not limited to temples, rituals, or books. He came to believe that divinity exists within every human being. This realization transformed his understanding of life. Sri Ramakrishna also taught him an important lesson. If you want to see God, serve the poor, the hungry, and the needy. Service to humanity is service to God. These teachings became the foundation of Vivekananda's future mission. Narendra's friends often wondered how he remembered so much information. When asked about his secret, he gave a simple answer: focus. Whenever he studied, he concentrated completely on the task before him. Nothing could distract him. Once, while he was reading, several friends were talking loudly nearby. After some time, they stopped and asked whether they had disturbed him. Narendra looked up in surprise and replied, "I didn't even hear you." His ability to concentrate became one of his greatest strengths. He believed that focused effort could help anyone achieve extraordinary results. As Narendra grew older, people admired his intelligence, confidence, and charismatic personality. However, he remained committed to a higher purpose. He refused to allow distractions or temptations to pull him away from his mission. After the passing of Sri Ramakrishna in 1886, Narendra felt a deep sense of loss. Yet he soon realized that his teacher had prepared him for a greater responsibility. Together with other disciples, he dedicated himself to spreading Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. Eventually, he renounced worldly attachments and embraced the life of a monk. It was during this period that Narendra Nath Datta became known as Swami Vivekananda. As a wandering monk, he traveled across India. His life was far from easy. He often had no money, no permanent home, and very little food. Yet he remained fearless and determined. Whenever he faced hardship, he remembered a powerful truth: strength is life, weakness is death. These words became one of the guiding principles of his life. In 1893, Swami Vivekananda received an opportunity that would change his life forever. He was invited to represent India at the World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago, USA. This event would bring together religious leaders and scholars from different parts of the world. For Vivekananda, it was a chance to share India's spiritual wisdom with a global audience. However, there was one major challenge. He did not have enough money for the journey. With the support of admirers and well-wishers, funds were collected for his travel. Finally, he boarded a ship and began his long journey to America. The journey was not easy. He faced difficulties, uncertainty, and moments of loneliness. Yet he never lost faith in his mission. His goal was clear: to introduce the world to India's rich spiritual heritage and the message of universal brotherhood. When he arrived in America, he faced new challenges. Many people judged him because of his traditional Indian clothing and unfamiliar appearance. At times, he struggled to find accommodation and support. Still, he remained calm and determined. He believed that every challenge was an opportunity to grow stronger. Then came the historic day, 11 September 1893. The Great Hall of the World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago was filled with scholars, religious leaders, and intellectuals from around the world. Many speakers had prepared detailed speeches. Swami Vivekananda carried no lengthy written notes. He carried only his faith, knowledge, and confidence. When his turn arrived, he stood up in his saffron robes and looked at the audience. For a brief moment there was silence. Then he began with the words, "Sisters and brothers of America." The audience was deeply moved. His warm and sincere greeting immediately created a connection with everyone present. The hall erupted into applause. People appreciated not only his words, but also the genuine love and respect behind them. Vivekananda spoke about harmony, tolerance, and unity among religions. He explained that different religions may follow different paths, but they all seek the same ultimate truth. One of the most memorable ideas from his speech was that all religions should respect one another rather than compete or fight. He proudly spoke about India's tradition of welcoming people from different cultures and faiths. His message was simple but powerful. Humanity is one family. The audience listened with great interest and admiration. His speech became one of the most celebrated moments in the history of the Parliament. Newspapers across America praised him. People began calling him the spiritual ambassador of India. Almost overnight, Swami Vivekananda became internationally famous. However, fame never changed him. He remained humble and focused on his mission. After the Parliament of Religions, Vivekananda traveled across the United States and Europe, delivering lectures and meeting thousands of people. Everywhere he went, audiences were inspired by his wisdom, confidence, and clarity of thought. He spoke about self-confidence, character, service, education, and the limitless potential of human beings. One of his most famous teachings was, "Believe in yourself, and the world will be at your feet." He believed that many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack confidence. According to him, strength begins in the mind. He often encouraged young people to develop courage, discipline, and determination. Another famous teaching of Vivekananda was, "Take up one idea, make that one idea your life." He advised people to focus their energy on a meaningful goal. Instead of being distracted by many things, he believed success comes from complete dedication to one purpose. This lesson remains relevant even today. Whether someone wants to become a scientist, teacher, entrepreneur, or artist, focused effort is essential. Swami Vivekananda also believed deeply in the power of service. He taught that helping others is one of the highest forms of spirituality. According to him, true religion is not limited to rituals or ceremonies. True spirituality is expressed through kindness, compassion, and service to humanity. This belief later inspired the establishment of the Ramakrishna Mission, an organization dedicated to education, healthcare, social service, and spiritual development. The organization continues its work even today, helping millions of people around the world. After years of inspiring people abroad, Vivekananda returned to India in 1897. He received a hero's welcome. Thousands gathered to hear him speak. People were proud that an Indian monk had earned such respect on the world stage. Yet Vivekananda's greatest concern was not his own success. He was concerned about the future of India. He wanted his countrymen to become educated, confident, and self-reliant.
He urged people to rise above fear, ignorance, and weakness. His famous call echoed across the nation. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. These words inspired countless young people to work hard and contribute to society. Vivekananda believed that education was the foundation of national progress. However, his definition of education was different from simply memorizing information. He said, "Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man." In other words, education should help people discover and develop the potential that already exists within them. He believed every person possesses immense strength, intelligence, and goodness. The purpose of education is to bring these qualities to the surface. Throughout his life, Vivekananda continued sharing powerful lessons. Some of his most important teachings include: focus on the present. He advised people to give their full attention to the task at hand. According to him, do one thing at a time, and while doing it, put your whole soul into it. Embrace challenges. He believed difficulties are necessary for growth. Challenges make people stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Be fearless. One of his most famous statements was, "Strength is life, weakness is death." He encouraged people to replace fear with courage and confidence. Never stop learning. Vivekananda believed learning is a lifelong journey. Every day offers an opportunity to grow and improve. His message was especially powerful for young people. He often reminded them that the future belongs to those who believe in themselves and work hard. He encouraged them to dream big, remain disciplined, and never give up. As the years passed, Vivekananda continued working tirelessly. Unfortunately, his health began to decline due to constant travel and hard work. Despite physical challenges, he never stopped serving others. He believed his mission was more important than personal comfort. On July 4, 1902, Swami Vivekananda passed away at the age of 39. Although his life was relatively short, his impact was extraordinary. His teachings continue to inspire millions of people around the world. Today, he is remembered not only as a spiritual leader but also as a symbol of courage, self-confidence, and service. His words continue to guide students, leaders, entrepreneurs, and ordinary people seeking meaning and purpose in life. Before we end today's story, let us remember one of his most powerful messages. All the powers in the universe are already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark. This quote reminds us that strength, wisdom, and potential already exist within us. We simply need the courage to discover them. Swami Vivekananda's life proves that one person can change the world through determination, faith, and service to humanity. His story is not just history. It is a timeless lesson for all of us. Let his life inspire you to rise above fear, believe in yourself, and work toward your dreams. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to improve your English through inspiring biographies and life lessons, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next story. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.